Hello guys, welcome to Charities Bubble USA, your #1 channel. We're gonna do a video here. This is October 1st of 2022. It's the month of Halloween here in the US. So normally what happens is that our trees are gonna dry up and they're gonna look like my hair, and then they're gonna shed off, and it's gonna be a very cold season. And then that's how we roll, guys. I'm gonna do consecutive videos to show you how it looks, especially for my new members, and also to remind you that here we go with seasons. So this is the fall. It's gonna be winter soon. So guys, first of all is to thank you for helping me reach 6,000 subscribers. I'm so excited, guys. I'm really excited, and I want to thank you guys for continuing to support my YouTube channel and for continuing to watch my video, guys. I know it takes bundles to watch videos, so I do not take that for granted, guys. I do not take that for granted. Now, DV 2024 is here. It's going to be here on the 5th. So that's what I want to talk about. And my topic today, let me put my banner here, is going to be DV 2024 application date and instructions. So that's what we are going to talk about today. So I am going to be sharing my screen here in a little bit so that we can see what we need to do. And remember, you can do the application by yourself. But before that, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly consider subscribing. Kindly consider hitting that notification button, guys. And when you watch my video, give it a thumbs up, guys. Please. Give it a thumbs up, guys. And make a comment or whatever, ask a question. And I will be here to talk about it. And if you watch my videos keenly, because sometimes I read the questions and some of them are really like the same. So I do a video and I'm able to answer all that. So this is going to be DV 2024 stuff. So be ready. Remember, we don't need the passport. And remember, the DV Lottery 2024 is going to start on the 5th. So let's see what we got here. Share screen. Let's look at this one. Yeah. So this one is going to talk about, I like to know if I am on the right thing. This one is going to talk about, so this is the shared one. Okay. So the program, DV 2024 program, online registration. So when does it start? The online registration period for DV 2024 program begins on Wednesday, October 5, 2022 at 12 noon Eastern Daylight Time. Eastern Daylight Time, it's here. It's going to be here. So by the time it starts at noon, maybe your time is going to be 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, or whatever time it is, but that's the date. The date is the 5th. And remember, when you do your application on the 5th, if you are doing your application on the 5th, sometimes you might be trying to submit and it's not going because everybody is trying to submit their stuff. So please pay attention to that. Do not get discouraged. Just continue doing the application until you get your confirmation that you have successfully done your application and you have received your confirmation number. Very, very important. Now, if you follow with me and watch this video to the end, you will not have a problem when you're doing your application. You will not have someone lying to you that this and this and this. No, I am going to read for the website. And like I tell you, this is not information that I make up. This is a website, a public website that you go to when you need information on how to immigrate to the US, whether you need to become here as a student, whether you're asking for a visitor's visa, when you are asking, when you're doing the DV lottery, you will come across this website, and this is where you get information. So guys, travel.state.gov, and I think it is running down there on that thing that is running. I don't know what to call it, but it's there. Travel.state.gov is this website. So guys, look at that, and it has this red and blue. So when you go there, you can find all the information. All you need to do is click on this search button, and then you can see what you want, if it's photo, if it is anything about immigration here in the US, guys. So let me see. So I'm going to take that one out, and I'm going to put another slide for the instructions, for the DV 2024 instructions, because we need to know what we are getting into. I know I did the instructions for DV 2023, but now since we are starting DV 2024 we are starting DV, I have to make sure that this is the right thing that I am putting over here. So since we are starting DV 2024 on the 5th, then you need to know what they require. It's very, very important for you to know what they do require. Now, guys, and I hope that my internet is not misbehaving. I hope that you get this video clear, guys. So let's see about the instructions. So that's what I'm going to read, and I am gonna and you know, if you wanna download this paper and read it and whatever, you can, you know, you are able to download it because I have it here in my computer and I've just downloaded it from the website. So it's not a hard thing. So someone coming to tell you, oh, this is what you are supposed to do, pay me money so that, no, that's that, you know, and I'm going to read all those instructions and you will see. Okay, let me make it a little bit bigger so that you guys can see. I want to look at my screen. Okay, let's see. Because I have to be sure, you know, technology is hard, guys. All right, here, instructions for the DV 2024, the diversity visa program. Okay, program overview. So they administer statutory created diversity in migrant program for diversity immigrants from countries with historically low rates of immigration to the United States. And that comes into the selection of the countries, and you find that some countries are not there. And I'm going to read the countries that are not there because they look at the number. So, and then before I read the countries that are not there, it's very important. I'm going to read the first sentence on the second paragraph. Applicants who are selected in the program must meet simple but strict eligibility requirements to qualify for a DV. So this video is important. If you're planning to apply for the DV lottery, please watch this video because I'm going to go through everything in this video and then you'll be good to go, guys. Okay. The other thing, the Department of State determines selectees through a randomized computer drawing. So there is nobody who can tell you, pay me this money and I apply for you, you're going to be. No, just do it for yourself. Unless you are not able to, like, you have some deficiencies that are making you not to be able to apply. They recommend that you do the application by yourself. So it's very, very important. And they distribute the diversity visas among 6 geographic regions, and no single country may receive more than 7%. And that is why you find that some people have won the DV Lottery 2022, but they did not receive a 2NN because that number, that 7%, is what they will give your region. So pay attention to that. So if you didn't get your DV 2022, it's okay. Do your DV 2024 and hope, you know what I mean? And please follow the instructions because sometimes you might not get it because you're not following the instructions. So very, very important. Now, let's look at the countries that qualify. I just want to make sure that I am on the right page. Okay, Bangladesh, not there. Brazil, not there. Canada, not there. China, not there. Colombia, not there. Dominican Republic, El Salvador, not there. Haiti, not there. Honduras, not there. India, Jamaica, Mexico, not there. Nigeria, guys, it's not there. You know, I've received so many messages about Nigeria. It's not there. Pakistan, not there. Philippines, not there. Republic of Korea, not there. United Kingdom, especially the Northern Ireland, except Northern Ireland is there, but United Kingdom is not there. And it's dependent territories, Venezuela and Vietnam. Natives of Macau, SAR, and Taiwan are eligible. So guys, pay attention to that. But even if you're not of a native country that qualifies, you still have an option. Okay. Requirement number 1, native of countries with historically low rates of immigration to the United States will be eligible to enter. So they look at their data and they see this one has low rates of immigrants. So we are going to put it here, okay? Because they want to balance it, which is good. So if you are not a native of a country with historically low rates of immigration to the United States, there are other ways that you might be able to qualify. The first one is if your spouse is from a native country with historically low rates of immigration in the United States. If yes, you can claim your spouse's country of birth, provided that you and your spouse are named on the selected entry. Very, very, very important. Okay? All right. And if you are a native of a country that does not historically have low rates of immigration in the United States, so you are a native of those countries that do not qualify, but in which neither of your parents was born or legally resident at the time of your birth. If yes, you may claim the country of birth of one of your parents if it is in a country whose natives are eligible for DV24 program. And I'm going to make this very easy, guys. So here they are saying you were born in Canada, right? Or you were born in Nigeria. But your parents, they were born in Uganda, they were born in Kenya, you can claim eligibility through your parents. Okay, you understand? So very, very important for you to get that. Very, very, very important for you to get. I hope you get. I hope that's the simplest way that I can explain it. So I hope that one is capiche. Good. So point number 2, education. At least high school education or its equivalent. You must meet. Actually, they've written here, you must meet the education and work experience requirement for the DV program by having either. That's why I said, maybe you didn't go to school, there's an option. But that option still comes with qualifications, guys. And most people do not meet option 2. Because when you go to all.net online, and I'm going to do a video about that, you'll find that most jobs there, they are relying so much on someone has a degree or whatever. So that work experience, sometimes it might work if you're maybe interior designer. That one, I saw it there, it works. But you find that the others, maybe you are a hairdresser. The level, it's not a bad job, but the level of what they require, it's not going to help you there. So what's going to help you if it's your education? So at least a high school education or its equivalent, defined as a successful completion of a 12-year course of formal elementary secondary education. Very, very important. They want that certificate for Form 4. They really do want that. Or 2 years of work experience within the past 5 years in an occupation that requires at least 2 years of training or experience to perform. The Department of State use the U.S. Department of Labor database to determine your qualifying work experience. So very, very important about that question. Now, the entry period they have said here is Wednesday, October 5, 2022, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm talking so fast. Okay, Wednesday, October 5, 2022 at 12 p.m. noon. That will be my time here in the US. So it's going to be in the evening in Africa. I am sure of that. So look at those times and remember what I said about the first application. Then it will end on Tuesday, November 8, 2022, still at 12 p.m., 12 noon, same time. Okay, so do not wait until last week for the registration period to enter, as heavy demand may result in website delays. You do not want to. You do not want to be the last person, because if you are the last person, it might not work, guys. You have to be prompt and do it early. Now, let me read here. Okay, the law allows only one entry person during each entry period. The Department of State uses sophisticated technology to detect multiple entries. Submission of more than one entry for a person will disqualify all entries for that person, guys. Very, very important. This is not the one, the more you apply is the more you win. No, it's not. This is different. Do your application and wait. If you are married, you have a little bit of an advantage, because the wife can apply and put the husband and the kids, and then the husband can apply and put the wife and the kids. That's what we did. So I'm telling you something that we did. So one of you can win. And if you remember, if you watched that video for Levy, both of them did apply, and they applied. They put their kid there and they put themselves there. And for Levy is the one that won. So there you have that advantage. If you are 18 to 21, you can have 2 chances whereby your parents can apply, they can include you in their entry, and at the same time, you can do your own separate application. So pay attention to that, because it's important. Okay. So submit your EDV visa entry form online. Okay. We will not accept incomplete entries or entries sent by any other means. And then there is no cost to submit the online entry form. And I think this is one of the themes that made me start my YouTube channel, because you find that people charge you. People do charge you. Of course, if you're going to someone's cyber cave and you're going to use the internet to do the application, then they will charge you, because they will charge you the internet. But basically, they should not be charging you for this, because there's no cost. There's no money that you go and pay so that you can apply. No. And actually, you can even apply it on your phone, Okay. So please use an updated browser when submitting your application. Older browsers like Internet Explorer 8 will likely encounter problems with the online DV system. Use Google. Google is good. Okay. So we strongly encourage you to complete the entry form yourself without a visa consultant, a visa agent, or another person who offers help. So please do it for yourself. That's what they want. If someone helps you, you should be present when your entry is prepared, so that you can provide the correct answers to the questions and keep your unique confirmation number and a printout of your confirmation screen. Very important, guys. Be there. Some people don't even know about that confirmation number. Because when someone wants to get money from you, they are going to confuse you. So you have to be there so that you see that the application has been submitted successfully, and get a printout of that paper that comes out, because that is your confirmation number. Very, very important, guys. Okay. So what do they say? Because they know. Unscrupulous visa facilitators have been known to assist entrants with their entries, keep the confirmation page printout, and then demand more money in exchange for the confirmation number. So without this information, you will not be able to access the online system that informs you of your entry status. Be wary of someone who offers to keep this information from you. You should also have an access to the email account listed in your EDV entry. Very, very important. And we're going to talk about the email as we proceed. Okay. Now, after you submit a complete entry, you will see a confirmation. The confirmation will be there. A screen containing your name and a unique confirmation number. It has so many numbers. Print this confirmation screen for your records. Starting May 6, 2023, you will be able to check the status of your entry by returning to dvprogram.state.gov. I cannot emphasize this enough, guys. When you're applying your DV lottery, guys, you need this information. You need your email. You need your confirmation number. Okay, that's the key. Okay, all right. So I'm not going to dwell on so much on that. So let's see what you need. You need your name, last family name, first name, and middle name. If you do not have a middle name, there's an option there. Don't enter your middle name, and only enter your first and your last name. But you must have two names. So know that whether it's your, and most of people who do not have a middle name are the people that they have the name of the parent, but they do not have a middle name. I have one child who doesn't have a middle name. I decided not to give her a middle name. So she's got a name for her and her dad, and that's it. So that one happens, guys. So make sure that your name, you put it exactly as it appears on your passport. And if you have a passport, for example, if your passport shows only your first and last name, please list your last entry, last family name, and then first name. Very, very important. So do not include a middle name unless it is included in your passport. And remember, this is just instructions about the names. They do not require a passport for the DV lottery, guys. They don't. So please, they don't. So you can just do your application that we used to do before. Okay? So very, very important. Okay. Then you're going to enter your gender, male or female. It's not, gender doesn't mean how you identify. It means how you are born. Were you born a male or a female? That's how you enter. The birth date, you're going to put your day of birth, month, and year of birth. You're going to put the city where you're born. Now, this one is throwing everyone off. Now, look at your ID. If you don't want to put the is it sub-location or location, whatever, put the district. That's good. Murang'a City, Kiambu City, put that. But there is no, you are born in Kiambu and you're going to put Nairobi City. No, don't do that. Thika is a city. I'm trying to make it clear for you so that you don't have this confusion. Because you find that here, every region here is a city, like Wichita, it's a city, city of Wichita. If you go to El Dorado, it's going to be another city. So here they say city. There is nothing like sublocation, location. And I think that's where people are getting lost. Because when you think about, I was born in this location, is where do I enter? So that you can enter your district because that's closer to a city, or your division, wherever. It doesn't matter. Just enter the information that is either on your ID or in your passport. So that's important for you to know. Okay, now let's look at the country where you are born. Very, very important. Use the name of the country currently listed for the place you are born. And you find that this one will have a drop down whereby you'll have to click on it. And then you're going to select your country. This one specifically has a drop down. So this is important. Okay. And then the country of eligibility for the DV program. So your country of eligibility will normally be the same as your country of birth. So where you're born, you're going to enter there. Remember, your country of eligibility is not related to where you live or your nationality or if it is different from your country of birth. Now let me give an example of me, myself. I was born in Kenya, right? That is my country of birth. Okay? I am a US citizen. This is where I live. So I hope you're getting the difference. Okay? So your country of eligibility or the place that the country that you are born it must be like if I was putting on mine, I was born in Kenya. That one doesn't change, whether I'm a US citizen or whatever, doesn't change. So that's what you're going to enter there. Okay, I hope that one is good, clear, whatever. The entrance photograph, I talked about the photograph. Watch the video about the photograph, and you will get the stuff about the photograph, because I think I did that good. Okay, so you know what they want with this photo, and let me just explain a little bit. They want the photo to meet the standards of US visa photos, because when we went for our citizenship, to get our citizenship, I remember we had to go to for photos to be taken. Here you normally go to the post office, and they had to take photos, because those ones, like, they really know what is required. And you find that here in the US, you only go for one place to get your photo taken. Is if you want a passport, actually. So you just go and then they take your picture. So what they want with that picture, and that's why it has those like requirements, is that they want it to match the one for here, because someone was like, why do they so much insist on this photo? No, it has to be, guys. And the photo is very, very important, and that's why I always insist about the photo, because here they say you will be ineligible for a DV if the entry photograph of you and your family members do not fully meet these specifications, or you have been have been manipulated in any way. So that simple thing. That's why I say go to a professional photographer to do it for you. You don't need a passport. A passport was like a hurdle for everybody, I know. And if you look at the data, when they introduced the passport, most people were not able to do the application, because you're not affording that money for. You don't want to use all that money, and it's a lottery. Some people were arguing like that, but I know this one for DV 2024. Oh my gosh, so many people are going to do the application. I am sure of that. So guys, this photo is important. So watch that video about the photo and watch those. Follow those instructions. I cannot insist enough. And like I said in that video, I said, please don't send me a photograph, because even if you send me a photograph, I'm not going to help you much, because you need to make sure that when that photo is taken, it's the right one. And you can take the photo, maybe it's not that 2x2, but you put it on that photo tool. Then it is going to let you know. It's going to crop it, and it's going to and you will see a confirmation there in green that your photo is good. So I hope that we are good, because that's one of the things that will make you to be disqualified or to be ineligible for a DV entry. So guys, pay attention to that. Mailing address. Put an address. If you don't have like your own personal address, like here, the US system, you find that everybody has an address. An address is where you live in, and your address has got your mailbox. So we normally use a lot of mailbox, whereby all your mail, if it's your bills, they come through the mail. You can still opt maybe to do online, but your bills come through the mail. Anything important, if you order your passport, it will come through the mail. If you order your permanent resident card, it's going to come in the mail. Like the mail system here is like very, very popular. So even if you don't have, because I know most people do not. I remember I didn't have a mailing address, so I did use one for. I think it was for my uncle. Yeah, that's what we used. But you write in care of, when it's not yours, you have to write in care of so and so, and then you write your name and all that. So it's very, very important for you to do that. Okay, the city, the town, the district, the country, the state. Now, do not worry about this part about the zip code, because the zip code here, the postal code, don't worry about this one. But when you do the zip code, I know like the zip code for Kenya is 254. I know that. So if you want to enter that one, you enter that one, the zip code. Okay? And then here, number 9, it says where you live. Where do you live right now? And I gave you an example. I live in the US. Or maybe you are born in Uganda or Tanzania, but you live in Dubai. You live in Canada. You are going to enter there where you live today. Okay, then your phone number is optional. Now, the number 11 is very important. Your email address, guys. And I'm going to read this one. An email address to which you have direct access and will continue to have direct access through May of next year. If you check your entrant status check in May and learn that you have been selected, you will later receive a follow-up email communication from the Department of State with details if an immigrant visa interview becomes illegal. So nobody should send you letter or whatever, call you and tell you that you have won the DV lottery. No, don't follow that, because most people are getting, this scamming thing is just all over the world. And sometimes you won't know that you're being scammed. That person, the voice is so magnetic, like it's like you're in a trance. So by the time that you know that you have been conned, the money is gone. So remember, it's through your email. I told you guys, I was not paying attention to my email when we won our DV lottery. And believe me, that mail had been sent in December. And I saw my email in January, actually towards the end of January. And we were supposed to go for our visa interview in May. Don't make that mistake, because we had to rush, guys. When I saw that email, I remember we didn't have passports. That was one thing. And we had to think about how to raise money. So we raised that money within a span of less than 2 months. You do not want to be in that hurry, guys. So after you win your DV lottery, start thinking of finance, where the money is going to come from to process it. But don't quit your job, and don't stop what you're doing. Don't sell your stuff. Don't sell your land, because there's so many things that you have to do before you get that visa. Winning is not like a guarantee 100% that they will give you. There's some things that can stop whatever, especially because when you win, you will fill out your DS260, sorry. So when you fill out your DS260, you will give more information about yourself. And that is where they look at the comparison. The first application, the second application. And I normally tell you guys, they keep records. Even me right now, nowadays, I've become a record keeper. If I am talking to someone, I am trying to note down what they're telling me, especially is important. And then I put it in my whatever, somewhere. And then I will remember what that we were talking about, what conversation we were having with that person, especially if it's very, very important. I will write down. Now you find that these documents, the first application is not going to go anywhere when you win your DV lottery. It's going to be there. Your DS260 is going to be there. So you better make it right. It has to be right, guys. It can't be wrong, guys. Oh my gosh, I can't insist on that. And like I tell you guys, when I went to do my test for the citizenship test, I remember, no, there's not so much anxiety. I don't know. I have so much anxiety nowadays. I don't know what's going on. So you find that when I went for my interview for my test for my citizenship, I remember it was just a cool place. I went, I found this guy, and then he was asking me the questions, and then I just happened to look at the file, because it was just there. And then when he was going through it, because he had to, I'm sitting on this table and he's sitting on the other edge of the table, so I can see how he's going through my file. I saw everything that we had given out when we went to the embassy, all the documents, even our marriage certificate. I saw it. Our DS260 were in that file. So guys, what you are doing in your application, and that's why you should watch this video to the end, is very, very important. Put the information that is gonna rhyme, is gonna continue following, it's gonna flow. You have to pay attention about that. So here they say the Department of State will never send you an email telling you that you have been selected for the DV program, because when you win, the confirmation number is your key to go and check. Okay. The highest level you have achieved of today, you have options: primary, high school, no diploma, high school diploma, vocational school, some university courses, university degree, some graduate level courses, a master's, a doctoral level, a doctorate, all that. Whatever you are going to enter that. That one is self-explanatory. Current marital status. Now this one that they have added. You see how many paragraphs? 3 paragraphs about current marital status. Are you unmarried? Enter that you are single, unmarried. Are you married and your spouse is not a U.S. citizen or a U.S. legal permanent resident? That is simple. It means that your husband or your wife has never come to the U.S. and have had those status. And this one applies to those people who have come to the U.S. and they have been living here and they left their spouses back at home. So if you're still married and you still get help from that person, then you should call them and ask them, are you a U.S. citizen or a U.S. legal permanent resident, guys? And you find that if they are a U.S. citizen or a legal permanent resident, there is other ways that they can claim you and they can file for you in other ways and help you and sponsor you to come and live in the U.S. So you have to be very, very careful, especially if you have a spouse who is living in the U.S. Because most people don't say, you're not going to know who has papers and who doesn't have papers in the U.S., guys. You will not know because people they don't want to talk about it. That's what I can say. They don't talk about it, so you cannot know this one has got papers, and actually, it's none of your business. Whereby when you come here in the US, you realize that most of the stuff you really don't care if it doesn't involve you. That's the thing here. Like, it's your thing, so nobody is gonna ask you. But you, because you really want to make sure that you have the right information, call your spouse and ask them, what is your status? Then they will tell you, so that when you're entering information there, maybe you know, it will be very surprising if you did enter your information there and you said, because they will ask you questions of where your spouse was born or where they're living or whatever. And then when you're embassy and you had entered that your spouse was a US citizen or a legal permanent resident, and then you find that they are not. So you have to ask them, especially if they live here in the US. Very, very important, guys. But if nobody is here in the US that you're married to, just fill out the two. Now, if you're married and your spouse is a US citizen or a legal permanent resident, actually you don't need to enter them there. If you are divorced, enter that you're divorced, and you will need to produce those divorce papers to support that divorce thing. Widowed or legally separated. Now, enter the date, the name, date of birth, gender, city, town of birth, and country of birth of your spouse, and a photograph of your spouse meeting the same technical specification as your photo. Very, very important, guys. You have to pay attention to this. Now, let's look at the caution. Failure to list your eligible spouse or listing someone who is not in your spouse will make you ineligible for the DV as the principal applicant, and your spouse and your children ineligible as DV derivatives applicants. So you must list your spouse even if you're currently separated from him or her, unless you're legally separated. You know, sometimes I talk and I don't read, and people are like, did you make that up? No, I don't make up anything. I read from here. So if you have run away from your husband or from your wife, you have to include them in the application. Now, legal application is an arrangement where a couple remains married but live apart following a court order. You need oh my God, you need documents to support that stuff. If you and your spouse are legally separated and your spouse will not be able to immigrate with you through the DV program, or you must list them, guys. You will not be penalized if you choose to enter the name of a spouse from whom you are legally separated. They're not gonna penalize you. If you are not legally separated by a court order, pay attention. You must include your spouse, even if you plan to be divorced before you apply for the diversity visa, or your spouse does not intend you must enter them. So let's assume you have been married for like 10 years and then you went apart, but you did not divorce, or you will enter that person. And I'm talking about this because I had this thing that this lady was asking me that they were married, but the person that they were married to was married to another person, but they still have their marriage certificate. Technically, legally, you are not married to that person. Unless you get the customary marriage thing. You know, I know some people get the and if the law allows Kenyan men to marry many wives, then they should have some documentation for that, which should be there. But you find that here in the US, it's different. You are only allowed to marry one wife or one husband. So that one, capiche. I hope you have understood that one. So if your spouse is a US citizen or legal permanent resident, don't include them. Let's talk about kids. Number of children. List the name, date of birth, gender, city, town, and birth, and country of birth for all living and married children under 21 years of age. Very, very important, guys. Regardless on whether they are living or with you or intend to accompany you or follow to join you, should you immigrate to the United States. Submit an individual photograph for each of your children using the same technical specifications as your own photograph. So guys, if your child is at 21, include them. And remember, when they're 18 to 21, they can do a separate application for themselves. Now, what are you including in your children? Number one, all living natural children. Natural children. So if you're pregnant, you're not adding anything there. Hey, all living children legally adopted by you. And they say legally. All living children who are married under the age of 21 on the date of your electronic entry, even if they are no longer legally married to the child's parent, and even if the child does not currently reside with you or will not immigrate with you. That's a long sentence. But in simple words, it says you are married, you have kids, right? And then you left that marriage, maybe you left that marriage with you left that lady, the kids, or the man with the kids, and then you went and got into another relationship and got other kids. But you don't maybe you don't have contact with these kids. Those are your stepchildren, and they want you to include them there. So decide, because these are the rules. Like I read the first sentence, he said that these are strict rules that must be followed. And this is where people fail. Because I do a video here, I tell you, please include all your children. It doesn't matter. You know, and I've been conversing with this person. They won the DV lottery, actually, DV 2023. And they should be, they're ready. So they had a child that they had adopted. But then they were like, now what do I do with this child? So what I told her, like, you have to have some legal documents for that child, because if you show up with that child in the embassy and you don't have the legal documents, now you know they oh my gosh, kids, it's kids and family separation and all that. That's a serious thing, guys. Like, you know, you have to have the legal documentation for those kids if you have adopted them. So the other one was asking, I have been living with my sister's kids. We have not adopted them, but I started living them when they were little. They don't care. That is word of mouth. What they need is documentation to show that you are legally responsible for those kids. Very, very important. Now, you have kids and you don't talk to their spouse or whatever. And then when you go to the embassy, they may ask you for stuff from the dad of those kids to show that they have agreed that you immigrate with those kids to the US. Guys, this is serious. It's very, very serious. It is serious. So make sure that you have your stuff in order, because when you win your DV lottery and when you are going to the interview and when you are being asked for these things, then you are like, oh, they didn't give me a visa. And then you start giving yourself reasons. No, don't give yourself reasons, because they have written here. They have indicated clearly. So go watch this video, know this stuff, because you have to know it, especially for those people who have had past relationships, their kids involved. And, you know, sometimes, I know I did this video about how your ex is going to affect you when you win your DV lottery. It's real, guys. It's real. So please pay attention to this when it comes to marriage, when it comes to kids. And every question here is important. But when it comes to family, guys, they take that very seriously, very, very seriously. And soon I'm going to bring someone here who's going to tell you more about children, because they've experienced that. I'm glad that they got their visa, but they did experience that. And it was such a stressful moment. You have gone to the embassy, you have paid all that money, and you have taken care of that child since that child was born, and that man was nowhere to be seen. You know, it's unfortunate. And then when you go to get your visa, then they tell you they want the clearance that their parent has cleared you to come to the US with that child. And sometimes you don't know where that person is. You know, it's good to be real, guys. So if and you know, I've talked about this several times. If someone is not involved in my child's life, then I will move mountains to make sure that I have a document that supports that, because I do not want that person to be a hindrance. You see what I mean? So very, very important for you to do that, because if you have a documentation from the court, an affidavit stating that you are the sole caretaker of that child, then they will not question that. But you cannot go by word of mouth, guys. You cannot go for back. So please get this right, because these are some of the questions that are coming on. And please watch my videos, because I can tell a question. When I look at a question, I can tell this person hasn't watched my video. This person hasn't watched my video. So watch them, guys. And go to travel.state.gov. Look for this information and read it to verify, so that you know what I'm talking about. So if your child is a US citizen or legal permanent resident, you don't need to enter them. Now, this is the caution. Failure to list all children who are eligible, or listing someone who is not your child, will make you ineligible for a DV, and your spouse and your children will also be ineligible for the diversity visa. Now, there is frequently asked question for more information. And that's why I'm telling you guys, if you want more information, go to the website and you will get all this stuff, because it's there. Now, this video is going to be long because it's 40 minutes, but I expect you to watch it, because I have talked about all the instructions. You follow them, you're good. You won't even need anybody to do the application for you. You'll be perfect, guys. So all I can do is wish you all the best. If you have a question, type it down there, and we're going to talk about your question. Thank you, guys, and God bless you. And I wish you all the best when you do your application for the DV lottery. And God willing, I'm going to be able to bring some more people in the show so that we can see, apart from DV, what else can we do? So thank you guys so much, and God bless you.